Nah, just to play in that game, like the atmosphere, and I scored a try in the corner in front of the pig pen. Felt all slow motion when it happened. They put a grubber through and it popped up and I dove on it, put it down. Still now, like every now and then I'll just watch the video and just look at it and you just see the pig pen just erupt.
On today's podcast, we've got the brother, born and raised in Calliope, currently chasing his dreams to play consistently in the Q Cup and down the line make the NRL, Carsen Huth. Before we kick into today's episode, if you can just give us a quick rating on Spotify and nice little like and subscribe on the YouTube would mean the world to us, boys. Other than that, let's kick into it. What's been happening, brother?
A lot of footy, work, just the usual, you know.
Yep. We're just going through it before. You're back with your old boy, working in the mechanics there. It's a mechanical shop, eh?
Yeah, doing diesel fitting apprenticeship. So started that up in 2020 and then put it on hold for a few years and then, back at it now. So
yep. Yeah, family business, like I said, old boy, then your two brothers are there as well.
Yeah, I got me two brothers and my uncle as well. So my auntie's in the office, so yeah, it's full
it's
family.
a literal family business.
That's clean. I wrote that. That's
good. Real good.
It'd be real good with like the flexibility for all the sport and stuff you're doing.
Yeah, 100%. Like every time I got training, just finish an hour early and travel up to Rocky. So
yeah,
it's like real good.
Yeah, that's a good thing about family, bro. 100. We'll kick into it. That's your footy. That's your go-to, bro. That's what you've been doing. That's your pride and passion. Where'd the journey start?
Yeah, so started from before I could even walk. I reckon I was carrying around a footy, at senior footy, watching Dad and all the old boys play. Got a real kick out of it and always wanted to get on the field. But I think when I turned 5, I signed on with Calliope Roosters, and I was playing out there for a few years, and then our team ended up folding. Won a few premierships out there, so it was pretty good. And team ended up folding and moved over to Brothers with these boys, and obviously Brothers has always been a big part of our family, so it's it was real good to represent them, and we won two premierships back to back there. So.
But I always remember you used to play upper grade. Yeah. Because you played with your older brother, Declan.
Yeah, I think I started playing up. It was Connor, Claridge, Chase Domain and we all played up for 3 or 4 years. And then it wasn't until under 13s that they obviously started developing heaps over us. And then we decided to come back to our own age group. And I think we played 1 year there and then moved over to Brothers.
Yep.
So, that was... Yeah, that's more the junior footy, and then I think I was 16. I moved up to Rocky to go to boarding school up there to TCC, just to kind of try push the footy a bit further. And my first year down there, first year up there, I ended up breaking my kneecap midway through the year, and I missed out on the Confraternity carnival because of that, and it was pretty...
What grade was that?
Grade 11.
Yeah, righto. So what age is that? I guess.
That's you're 16.
Yeah, righto.
16.
Yeah. So what was that? Was that training or during an actual game?
In a semi-final to make the grand final for Rocky Brothers.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I was playing for them and we had a pretty good year in we were versing Yeppoon, trying to get into the grand final. And I was playing fullback. Hadn't really played much fullback, but I actually broke our fullback's arm a couple of weeks before that. I put a dodgy, he blames me for it, but I put a dodgy kick through and he fell over and snapped his arm. So,
shit.
So I had to take the reins of playing fullback, and a bit of karma got to me, I guess, and broke the knee. But,
it's such a specialist position, fullback, but...
Oh, you can't just be chucked there and expect to know what to do.
Yep.
But I just remember Dad sitting on the sideline telling me to push through the pain because, at first I thought it was just cork high up in me quad, but got through most of the game, and I think we went through Golden Point, and the coach ended up pulling me off because I could barely walk, and then we ended up winning, making the grand final.
Oh, really?
I got up and jumped up to celebrate, and I went to run out there and my knee's giving out. I'm like, oh, that's not good. I kind of got helped out there, and it turns out I just had a fracturing my kneecap.
You probably had a bit of an adrenaline going once that died off. You're like, oh, fuck, that's hurting a bit more, eh?
Had the ice on it for 20 minutes and then golden point and then tried jumping up. But
So you did your kneecap and your patella tendon.
Yeah, so
you said earlier.
Partially tore my patella tendon, so it wasn't full rupture, which was good. So I didn't need surgery.
Yeah.
It was just a long recovery. I think like 6 months.
Far
just
out.
in a knee brace, keep my legs straight to let that tendon heal. And I just remember waking up every morning at res, like at our boarding, and waking up with my knee bent because I don't sleep in the brace, and having to get some of the boys to come in and straighten the leg out. Because I was in too much pain to do it myself, so they just grab the leg and kink it out. So
TCC, did they even have a trainer there that helped you with recovery, or you had to do that?
Yeah, well, I was pretty lucky with, like, that year was kind of the year they started bringing all that stuff into the school. And so I was going through Vector Health, a gym up there, and just getting the physio done. But there wasn't really much they could do for me at first, just purely because all it was just letting it heal.
Yeah.
And then, eventually come good. And I wasn't really, like, I was pretty devastated at first, like, like doing ACLs and that, like, you hear the news and you're like, oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, it's over. But
especially like considering it was so close to the grand final for you.
Yeah.
Like knowing that you missed like what you worked all year for, you missed like the main thing. That's what hurts the most.
And like grand final the following week, and there was 4 of us from the starting side all injured on sitting on the bench. And we were like watching them play, and I think the first kickoff, he'll hate me for saying it, but the first kickoff at one of our wingers is he's under the ball and then he's put his hands up backwards and dropped it, and we just looked at each other and went, it's going to be a long game. Like straight away. But
do you remember who you were playing?
Yeah, versus North Chargers.
Oh, righto, yeah.
And all year, us and Norse used to just battle it out. Like, they were the top of the table, we were second, and we just couldn't quite pip them all year. And then, just sitting in the grandstand watching these boys, like, have a dig, but, so under strength.
Yeah,
and they're just, like, stuck in there, and the blue broke out, and we were all sitting on the sideline having to watch it.
I just want to jump up again there, eh?
Yeah, we're watching some of their Norse fellas run from the sideline into the fight.
So it was like a proper blue, like big
over
one.
nothing, but like it was just brothers, boys. We got a bit salty that we were losing, and the Norse just scored, and one of our players pushed him over, and just erupted from there. So.
Just passion.
Yep. So from your injury there, how long did it take until you got back into the game?
So I did that in about June, and I don't think I'd step foot on a field again until end of November, maybe early December, in a trial game for TCC. And I was so scared, like running out there. I just didn't know like what my knee was going to feel like. Like if I get hit, is it going to break? Like I just wasn't sure, but got through that and realised like, that's fine. Like it's good to go. And like year 12 was probably the best year of footy like that I've had, like, or memory wise.
Yeah.
Like, I went up there to get something out of it and ended up with it. But Confro, we had a pretty rough start to the school season. We got flogged by Brendan's first game of the season. Our whole school just pretty much gave up on us. They were just like, oh, yous aren't good, blah, blah, blah. We were like, it's pretty rough. But, we got to Confro and down at Bundy, and we kind of made a decision that, don't worry about the school, we'll do it for us here. And, I think we undefeated all Confraternity, and then got to the grand final against Iggy Park. Yeah.
Bro, I still remember it, like, because it was 2019,
Yeah.
Yeah. I still remember, like, after our games and all that, like, people were going, I remember Carsen, like, he's having a killer season, like, killer confro. Like, how many tries did you have or something? Like, you had, like, a pretty crazy stat line for playing Div 1.
Yeah, I was scoring, like, I was almost averaging a double a game.
Yeah. It was like
much
crazy.
to the forwards' disgust because they were doing the hard work and I was just finishing it off, scoring the tries. But
Yep. So for those listening, Confraternity is like all the Catholic schools,
yeah,
pretty much. Yep.
is this, Catholic or
Or
private?
private education, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then you have
Massive
like
carnival.
all different divisions for like, kind of goes off like this grade and size of your school, So like
Yeah.
Chanel, because we're only like 500-600, we're all like Div 3, I
Yeah.
think you boys were.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And obviously TCC being a half D school and probably the quality of footy that comes out of Rocky there, you slapped up in Div 1.
yeah. So like you move up and down divisions as well. Like TCC for as long as I can remember being Div 1, but they were one of the original confraternity teams before it got to this stage of divisions and stuff. So I think that's kind of how we got stuck up there.
Yep.
But like, I've seen teams move back and forth between Div 1 and 2 over and over again. But, for us, TCC have never won a Confro before. And
Oh, I made
It's
that
really
final layer, a
frustrating.
bit of pressure.
so I think they made, I can't remember if they had made one previously. I think they have, but, we'll either first or second TCC team to ever make the grand final.
Yep.
And like coming from a team that we weren't really like that skillful, like we were a good side. I'll give it, but like on paper we probably we didn't have big names
Yeah.
or anything like that.
You
Like,
just come together as one and
we all just
outplayed
got
everyone.
in there and
Yep.
had a dig, and it was unreal carnival. Like we kind of surprised ourselves when like going to bed that last night and we're playing in the Confro grand final tomorrow. Like
Yep.
this is crazy. But then of course it had to be against Iggy Park.
Yeah, and they had a stacked team that year.
What is that? Is that Brizzy Ways or
Townsville.
Townsville.
Townsville? True.
And like they weren't too flash this year, but like previously, like good 5-6 years straight now, they've just been
They'll probably have a few boys in the Cowboys squad,
Yep.
Yeah,
100%. Like I remember just seeing some of them, and they've got full arm sleeve tattoos and stuff in school, and we're looking at them like they've already beaten us. Like you beat me mentally already. Like
Yep.
just big units, and we stuck it to them for. I'd love to say for the first half, but it was probably for like maybe 20 minutes of that.
Yeah, true.
And then
The halves are 20 minutes, aren't they? Or final, did
grand
they?
finals 30.
30, yeah, righto.
That's what kind of got us. Like we were playing, the way we were playing was like 20-minute halves were good.
Yeah.
Because like we got a break after 20 minutes, come back out firing. Whereas that last extra 10 minutes, either side of the half just like blew us away.
And even like playing footy now, I wake up Sunday and I'm like so fucking sore. I don't know how we used to go to those carnivals back in the day and just
10
play
games.
like 3 games a day for 4 days, and like I just don't even get it.
At the same time, though, like you weren't going to work and doing like for
Oh,
you
yeah.
as well,
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
shift work. So like, there's little things like that for sure. But
Yeah,
100% know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah, even like I'm the same now. Like I'll play a game and then wake up and I go like, I'm never playing again. This is it. I don't know if I can go to work this week. Like, nah, but it's good.
Yeah. So even with school sport, bro, did you play Capricornia and go state champs for that, or
Nah, I never made any of those teams. I made Port Curtis when I was in Gladstone.
Yep.
Trialled for Cap every year, obviously, but I never made that. Never made even in the club system, like at the 13s and 14s. Made the Raiders team and travelled for that, but I didn't make the Capras or anything like that. Like,
So when you look at that, it's more like after school, bro, that your footy's kind of
Yeah.
excelled and
yeah, grade like that Confro grade 12 year. Obviously, like my team kind of put me on show a little bit, and after that, ended up getting a 3-year deal with Wynnum down in Brizzy. So, it was after school that it picked up because through school I was just struggling. I didn't even make the open schoolboys Rocky team in grade 12. Trialled for that, but they didn't want me for that. So, just kind of went, right now I'll just focus on school footy now. Like,
yep.
It just shows, but like how much your name affects what you make.
Not only that, like different coaches see different value in players and that, and also, like you said, it's who you know and
Yeah.
yeah, and
That's
by the
also
time
big.
you're like going through open schoolboys, like you got boys that have played for Rocky since they were 12 or 11.
Yeah.
Like,
And so
and
their
if their
eyes are
name
always
comes
like,
up,
yeah.
like the coaches are going to go, oh yeah, like take him straight away. And then new guy comes in, they're like, oh, nah, it's all right.
Yep.
So
And they hadn't seen you play any footy either because of your knee and all that. Like, so it's just unfortunate.
yeah, like I missed that whole local league schoolboys comp in grade 11 because of my knee. I ended up just coaching the few of the boys from boarding. They played in the open seas division. So like in Rocky, the school comps that big is A's, B's, C's and D's.
Wow.
Yep.
And I had a few mates that played in the open seas, and my English teacher was the coach of it, and he was like, oh, if you're not doing anything, you want to help me? I have no idea what I'm doing. And I was like, yeah, sweet. So, coaching some of my best mates in footy, I was just like giving them a muck around. I wasn't serious or anything. Like, if they wanted to play fullback, they play fullback. Like, it didn't bother me. It was just real good fun. Like, got me away from that thinking about the sadness of not actually being there playing. So that was good.
Well, you look at that too, bro, and like Cap's fucking strong as fuck. Like you even look at the origin side, like last 2 years, it's like, I think even one year there was like 7, they were doing like photos, like all the boys from Cap, the skill sport photos and that. And there was like, you got Cherry, Grant, Munster, Hunt, all those boys,
100%.
So like Cap's definitely like, or CQ in general, the footy that comes, or the talent of footy that comes out of CQ is definitely up there.
Yeah.
And it's good that it's finally like been taken away, or has been taken off like the city boys, and it's more coming up to the regional boys. So
it's definitely good that now, like even when they were coming through, like your Munsters and that, for them to make it, they had to leave like Rocky and that.
Yeah.
Like, but now with like the Dolphins being affiliate with Capras, like it actually helps everyone. Like the locals can stay here and still get the same opportunity.
Yep.
Like as the Brizzy boys, but that's only been in the last couple of years that's kicked off. So it's definitely good now though. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what happened, right? So you obviously had a good year, and then you were like, righto, you obviously got some offers, so you had to leave Rocky because you decided you wanted to pursue footy.
Yeah, like I got the Wynnum offer, and then there was a few more there, but being from CQ, you don't really want to jump straight into a Sydney contract or something like that and, get thrown in the deep end and then end up getting washed out and come home. Like, that's a big move from CQ, or even from Calliope to Sydney. Like,
massive.
Yeah, it's
move.
kind of same as Stolky, bro, when he moved fucking Emerald to Manly. Like, that's a crazy move.
Yeah, like it's just such a big area down there.
And their
it's
comp,
so easy to get lost.
Yeah, their comp is like so much harder.
But like even Brizzy was a massive change. But like I thought, like living in Wynnum was really good.
Yep.
I couldn't fault Wynnum at all. Like the vibe that Wynnum puts off is so good. Like you got the beachfront just down the road from where we're living, and then 20 minutes down the road you can go to Westfield Shopping Centre.
Yeah.
So like it's like the best of both worlds really. Like you got the relaxed vibe and then you got the city life straight away. So.
When you're in Wynnum, you almost feel like you're in Gladiator.
Yeah, that's what I used to say to like my parents. Like I used to feel like I was at home.
Yeah.
Because like it's small, it's coastal.
Yeah.
Like
it's
you
definitely like quiet, a lot more just like chill. For sure.
Yeah, no, it's definitely Wynnum's a good place. Like and the footy down there was unreal. Like learnt heaps down there.
Yeah.
But I won a premiership down there playing in the local comp down there, and still probably one of the best feelings I've ever had, just winning that comp.
Yeah,
because the boys were just so close.
So when you first went down from TCC to Wynnum, you went under 20s first?
I was under 18s in the Melbourne Inga. That was in 2020, but that was the year COVID hit and the seasons got cancelled.
Yeah, right.
So we played one game against Burleigh, and we got up on that game, but our team that year was it was really good. Like we had like Selwyn Cobbo was our fullback.
Yeah.
Not only that, you would have had like Brado Whitaker. You also got it's Harry plays for Dolphins now.
Harry Graham.
Yeah. So you had a pretty strong side.
And I think don't know if you know Tony Francis. He's playing for Burley at the moment. He's signed with the Titans. Like, he was one of the centers.
Yeah, wow.
Like, just like the team, you look back on the team and you go, if that's like what could have been if that season had played out.
Yep.
But that gave me a chance to kind of come back to Gladdy for a year and start my apprenticeship.
Yep.
And yeah, kind of that was the year we turned 18 as well. So
yeah.
pretty full on year. No footy, just drinking every weekend. So.
Were they still sending you like training programs and like fitness programs to do over COVID or?
Oh, they did a little bit, but like I think they were at first when they weren't real sure what the season was going to do. But then once it got fully canned and said come back next year, they kind of went, just have a year off, boys. Like, relax. If you just want to train, you can train. Like, we're not stopping you, kind of thing. But yeah, that was the hardest preseason I've ever done. Going back from that year, I felt like a forward. I've never felt like that before. And yeah, like running, and you expect to be like an outside back, and they expect you to be at the front, and I'm behind some of the front rows. Like, I wasn't in a good spot, but got through that pretty quick. You know, being small fella, you lose the weight pretty quick. So
you get the lungs back quicker than everyone else.
Yeah, that's like all the forwards are paying me out saying, "Yo, like 2 weeks ago you were at the back, now you're at the front again." Like, yeah, it's good being back.
So came back here for COVID, started apprenticeship. COVID obviously evolved and footy started going again. Moved back down. You would have been 19 then, so that's when you jumped in under 20s, or
so they changed the comp from an under 20s comp to an under 21s.
Yep.
So but that was the age group that I had to play because they kept the younger one at 18s instead of bringing it up to 19s.
Yep.
So yeah, it was tough to crack into that team being 19 and trying to push out 21-year-olds. Like, and that was the year. That was 2021. That's the year that the under 20s in the local comp for Wynnum won that premiership, and the Colts for under 21s for Wynnum won the Colts.
Yep.
So it was a good year for Wynnum that year, and I think I managed to get 2 or 3 games in that year, which was pretty good, you know, considering being 19 and the side we were undefeated all year. So, you know, getting a go at the undefeated team is pretty good. So I was pretty pumped with that.
Yep. So with your comp there, you're playing Brizzy. Are you also playing Goldie and Sunny, like Tweed and Burley Bears and Sunny Falcons?
Yeah. So the Colts comp statewide, so you can go right up to Cairns.
Oh, true. Oh, so it's pretty much like QRL, but like for Yeah.
So we follow the Q Cup competition.
Yep.
We're just basically the mini-me's of Q Cup.
Gotcha.
So, so 2021 got a few games in, and then kind of just focused on 2022, being 20 years old and wanting to, you know, play full season at Colts was the goal. And then I had a good preseason, played the first 2 trials, was really impressed down there, and then played the 3rd trial, and it was in the second half, 2 weeks before the first round, and jumped up for a ball and landed on the point of my shoulder.
Oh, fuck.
And I grabbed my shoulder, and I felt a lump in my shoulder, and I was like, no, it's not good. And the cup coach was behind the try line telling me to get up, like, you know, don't let the boys down. I'm like, yeah, sweet. Got up, felt the shoulder, and I went, that's not good.
Fuck.
And then, first aid come out, and he checked it, and he said, nah, you got to come. So I went off. Had a fella trying to pop my shoulder back in on the sideline, and I was moving it around. But, it turns out it wasn't popped out at all. It was just my AC joint had separated so much it pushed my collarbone up.
What the fuck?
Like still now, I still got a lump on my shoulder from where the collarbone sticks up. So
far out.
So surgery didn't even fix it?
Well, I didn't get surgery.
Oh, right.
So they wanted, at first so I went straight into, so my partner took me up to the hospital. Had to ring her because she wasn't at the game. She was out somewhere, and I had to ring her and say, can you come pick me up? Oh, no, she was at the game. Yeah, she went and got the car and, picked me up and took me to the hospital, and, she was kind of stressing because she didn't know, and then we got to the hospital and they wouldn't let her into the hospital because COVID rules, and there can only be one person in the emergency. Like if I'm fine to be by myself, then she doesn't have to be there, kind of thing. And I was like, you know, I'd never done a hospital by myself before. I was 20 years old. I was like, what do I do? Like, had no idea.
Still got your mum's number on all the stuff and all that.
I had no doubt I was probably on the phone to mum. Where do I go? Do I go talk to this lady? Ended up getting through, and you know, I was in there. Ended up sending my partner home because I was in there for a couple of hours, like just trying to get an X-ray. In a fair bit of pain by then because the adrenaline's worn down and that. But yeah, they showed me the X-ray and fair separation. I'll show you the X-ray after, but it's pretty full on. And when I seen the X-ray, I was kind of like,
"Fuck."
So what's that mean?
Yeah,
like that looks bad.
Yeah, it's scary seeing that too, eh? When like I said, you're by yourself. Like you got your partner with you, but you know, family's 6 hours north, and
And not only that, like you've just had a good preseason. You've just missed the entire season, not the whole season before, but a lot of it. You've just been amping up, and then boom, for it all to be taken away again in the fucking preseason games.
So what did happen after that? You've done the X-ray. What have they given you? Like how long are you going to be out of footy?
Well, they weren't 100% sure. They couldn't give me an exact thing just because they wanted to meet with the surgeon first to see what his views were. And the surgeon happened to be in the hospital, so they got him, and he come looked at it, and his first reaction was like, "Holy shit!" And I went, "Oh,
that's not
I was
good."
still sitting there, like I was like, I said, "Oh, is it surgery?" And he's like, "Oh, mate, I'm not gonna say no, but I don't want to say yes either." And I'm like, I'd rather like just tell me, like, do I need surgery or not? But they deemed it a grade 5. AC joint, but I don't know, it was apparently weird. Like grade 4 gets skipped because it's bone structure or something. But anyway, it was pretty bad. And they gave me a call a couple of days later and said surgeon doesn't want to operate. He thinks it'll heal fine. Come back in a couple of weeks and we'll let you know. So I went back after 2 weeks, and they were like, give it another like 6-7 weeks, and you should be right to go. So I think I ended up having about 9 weeks off.
Yep.
Which wasn't too bad. Came back when I played a game of local league. First game back and got through that fine. And my first Colts game back in happened to be against Capras. So they were out to kill me. Like, a few of the old schoolmates and that. And they were fairly out there to get me. So it was a good game back. I ended up getting man of the match in that game, so it was good game back.
That's good. That's good recovery, eh?
Yeah, and it felt good because it was against the old boys as well. So, but that was definitely a setback because I thought that was going to be the year that like I played a full season, and then that happened. So it was a bit of a setback. But.
So for Colts, when you came back, you say you were playing fullback or you centre?
Centre.
Okay.
So I played fullback in 2021, just because the local team needed a fullback. So played there, and then 2022 moved back into the centres.
But you were starting every game?
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, once I got back into Colts, I was starting every game. So it happened. It worked out well in a sense for me that they were going good, so it was hard for me to get back into the team. But then the week that I was ready to come back into the team, there was a few injuries in the outside backs.
Yeah, sweet.
So I ended up getting slotted straight back in, and ended up playing decent enough footy to hold the spot for the rest of the year. So, that was definitely good, but unfortunately lost. We got pumped by Blackhawks in the semi-final and didn't make the grand final. But
that's Townsville too, eh?
Yeah,
Townsville Sharks.
Pretty much all the same boys that flogged me a couple of years ago.
So 2022 finished up with Colts there, and that was just the end of your 3-year contract and didn't renew it.
So they re-offered a contract, but I kind of wanted to get a Q Cup preseason. And at the time at Wynnum, there was a big change up with coaches. Like our 21s coach was leaving, the head cup coach was leaving, and there was all new fellas coming in, and they weren't 100% sure on like whether I could get one or not. And, you know, I just my lease was running out on my house, so I kind of had to make a decision. And I got in contact with Capras, and yeah, they were pretty keen to have me up there. You know, being a local kid, they love when fellas come back and get amongst Capras again. So when they heard that I was talking to them, and they were pretty keen, and I told them the same thing, that I wanted to try to get a cup pre-season, and yeah, they ended up giving me one, and ended up staying in the cup squad, like still to date. Train with them every week, and then just drop back and play Colts, because I haven't quite cracked that cup team yet. But
and it'd be even harder now, considering like they're the feeder club.
Yeah.
So like does Milf like drop back and play and
Milford's dropped back a few times, but I was at the moment he's playing NRL, so But for me being outside back, like I thought, you know, get it, because Wynnum, they all get the Broncos outside backs back. They get your Dean Mariners, your Del Hoyters and that. But coming to Capras, I didn't think that would affect me, but then they signed the affiliation, and now we get Edric Lee, Ollie Gildart, Branko Lee, played for him on the weekend. Like, all the boys that do come back are all outside backs. So, like, you got the odd Ford and Milford and Nicarima, obviously, but still got NRL players in the spots that I'm trying to push into. But no, it's good. Keeps me on my toes. And
so it's like obviously a bit of motivation to keep working hard every week. And
yeah, 100%. Like, you know, especially like it's good to see them come back, and you know, they don't they're good fellas. Like, they don't disrespect anyone because they've played a high level. Like, Edric Lee's played State of Origin.
Yeah.
And Branko, like, they've both played Origin. So it's good for me, like, learning. You know, I don't really train with them that much often because they only do the captain's run, but you know, just seeing them around really, like, and you ask them something and they'll tell you, like
they literally got the best coach ever above them, teaching them every week. So then when they come back, and just to share the knowledge would be huge.
Yeah, and like you can just kind of tell from watching Capras play now, like the influence that those boys have on our boys is like really good. Like, I think they really encourage our boys to push themselves more. So it's really good. But
yeah, 100%, bro. Like, who was Capras feeding Broncos before that, for Dolphins? Or
Just
no one?
Just no one.
yeah, they've had like small affiliations with people, but they've never gotten players back.
Yeah, okay.
So like this year's the first year that they've actually got NRL players coming back into
That's
their
what CQ
team.
needs, bro.
Yeah, and that's what I was mentioned before about now local boys can stay local if they want, and still have the same opportunity as they do if they go down to Wynnum.
Yeah, and it will stop people. It will stop people like branching out to like moving to Wynnum or other clubs like Burleigh that feed Titans, because now that Capras feeds an NRL club, they're like more willing to stay.
Yeah.
It was like obviously the Dolphins, you know, they're always going to be on Capras games, and that it's going to give more boys a chance of actually cracking the NRL.
Yeah, I think for like a young fella, it's a mental thing as well. Like, knowing that the club you're playing for has an affiliation with an NRL club. I think mentally you're more convinced, like, yes, I can do it.
Yep.
Whereas like a few years like there where Capras didn't have an affiliation, I feel like it was hard for young fellas to kind of get the motivation to want to push themselves.
Yeah, they have like real good pride towards Capras, and just love your footy in general.
And like last year they had a killer season, those boys, and
they were like on top of the table for a while though, right?
Yeah. And it wasn't until their first loss was us, my first game back.
Yeah.
Of the season. That was their first loss. And then they ended up losing. They ended up getting knocked out the same round that we did. So we finished the game before the grand final, both of us. So they had a really good year, and you know, the what's the word I'm looking for? The culture around the club now is still really good. Like, everyone's just feeding off the last few years. And
what I hope for CQ is in the next few years that, you know, you got 17 teams in the NRL at the moment. They bring out the 18th team. I reckon Rocky should, get it, honestly, Because they're even looking at doing up the Leagues Club there, or your main field,
Yeah.
building a stadium there to host NRL games, which would be just phenomenal for Rocky, eh?
Yeah.
The footy will just grow even stronger, eh? Like the pride and that.
Yeah, 100%.
When you bring professional footy, like they had Eels and who was it 1 year for preliminary finals, I think.
Dragons? Oh, preliminary, the finals.
Yeah, they had that game in Rocky there.
Yeah.
It was Eels and Bunnies maybe even.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
Knights. I don't know. But yeah, bringing more games back to CQA. Like when they have those games at ANZA, it's like looks like 3 people in the crowd. It's like,
Yeah.
why don't you bring that like here?
The atmosphere would be really.
sell out
it'd
a
be
bloody
mad-
full
mad cool.
crowd, better atmosphere, and like just bring like it even brings money to the towns, eh?
Yeah.
Like accommodation, restaurants, all that.
Bro, 100.
Like even like the game at the start of the year, I don't know if you were there, that Capras Dolphins game.
Yeah. I didn't
Yeah, it
go
was
to
at
it.
Marley, bro.
Yeah, Marley Brown.
Yeah, that was packed, eh? I
Dude,
remember
it was
dropping off the boys to it.
packed.
Yeah.
And it was like, fucking, you had all the buses there. Like, yeah, she was pumping.
And it was like fully packed all the way up on like the other side
The
of the
Pigpen
field.
area
Yeah.
was like,
Just
it was
choggers.
packed. And it was like, because I played in that game.
Yeah.
And
That was your first game for
that was
Capras,
the first
eh?
game for Capras.
Yep.
And, you know, the scoreline obviously wasn't much to reflect on, but like
It was
just
only
the-
24-12, wasn't it though?
Yeah, I think it got a bit closer in the end there, but
Yep.
they took a few of their boys off, I think. But just to play in that game, like the atmosphere and like you were saying about Brown Park and how it's smaller and you put that many people into one stadium
Yeah.
to watch a game, like that's what Gladdy did. And I scored a try in the corner in front of the pig pen.
Yeah.
And it felt all slow motion when it happened. They put a grubber through and it popped up and I dove on it and put it down. And
Like, oh, shit.
I just remember like, still now, like every now and then I'll just watch the video and just look at it and you just see the the pig pen just erupt.
Yeah.
Like everyone, you see the grandstands up and, like it's good to see the community getting around.
Locals.
The locals.
Because everyone would have
Yeah.
known, like, everyone, it was like the talk of the town, like, go hear the fucking young Carson's playing.
Well, how many other Gladdy boys were in the game?
I thought,
You'd
I
probably
think
be
it was
the
just,
only
it
one.
was
Yeah, I
just
was the only
Carson,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, 100. That must have been like crazy, eh?
And that's the first time I played at Marley Brown since that last grand final we played.
Tannum.
Yeah. We beat them twice. Back to back.
Yeah.
Just rub it in.
Shouts out.
And yeah, with Capras. So who's your coach for Capras at the moment?
His name's Lionel Harbin. He's an unreal coach.
Yep.
Like, really good. Like, from the senior boys to the young boys, like,
Yep.
just really helpful. Like, you need to talk to him about anything. It's just
Yep.
really good. So, but, he gave me, obviously, that opportunity to play that Dolphins game and was really happy with me. And then I was meant to play the next trial game in Mackay, but I strained my hamstring. It was the Monday after the Dolphins game. We're doing a recovery run session, and I strided out a bit too far and twinged that, and I think I was out for 2 weeks. I missed the Mackay trial game and the opportunity to go over to PNG. And
Oh,
trial
true.
over there. So
Fuck, you would have wanted to miss that one anyway. Low-key.
part of me was like, I want to go over and experience it, but like,
Bro, Papua
go
New
over
Guinea's
experience and
crazy,
not
bro,
play.
eh? It's off its head.
Dude, they love their footy over there.
like that's what like the atmosphere would be really cool over there, but
Fuck, just
body-
running
the
into a
body would
bunch
be
of
sore.
Justin Olams would be so scary.
yeah,
Just, yeah.
Like, you look at the PNG team and they're all like the same height, same build,
size.
same everything. They just got different numbers on their back.
Well,
Yeah.
even they made the finals 1 year, eh?
yeah, they've won it once before.
Yeah, it was like, it wasn't too long ago, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I remember watching, like, because they do Queensland, like, winner versus New South Wales winner.
Yeah.
And I remember watching them versus the New South Wales winner. And obviously got
the
pumped.
New South Wales team would have shit themselves.
Yeah.
Seeing this team rock up.
Yep.
That used to be like when they used to play the Q Cup Grand Finals at Suncorp.
Yeah.
Like that would be that cool to like now Redcliffe has kind of bought the Grand Finals for a few years, I think. But getting to play a Grand Final at Suncorp, that'd be unreal.
Bro, it's like a dream, eh? To play at Suncorp full
Or just
stop.
play at like one of those big stadiums. Like I've never played at one of them. The biggest stadium I've played at is like Brown Park in Rocky.
Yep.
So have you not even played at the Dolphins?
Oh, I've played at that,
Like
but before
Redcliffe?
I played there last year, but now they've put a big grandstand at the back as well, so it feels more.
Yeah.
That's probably the nicest field I've ever played on.
Yeah, I've played there as well, and yeah, it's unreal. And they're like sheds come out of like an actual tunnel, and you're coming out. It's a proper like tin
It's like
tunnel.
pitch black.
Yeah,
And then all you see is this like light circle at the end.
Yep.
And like you're walking down, and then as you get there, it just goes like bright.
and the crowd's like right across from you. Well, it used to be.
Yeah.
With the dolphin symbol.
Yeah, that's a unreal stadium, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, bloody oath. So, I guess in terms of that, bro, what's your future manifestations with your footy? Where you shooting and aiming for? A couple more years for Capras, then trying to take a shot at, maybe even bigger clubs down south, like even go back to Wynnum, try to play Q Cup, or you want to aim for NRL soon, bro?
I think, like, short term, definitely just want to try crack into the cup system.
Yep.
Like, hopefully it is at Capras, but, at the end of the day, if you have to relocate, you have to relocate to get an opportunity. But, short term, crack into the cup system and establish myself as a routine cup player. But down the track, while I'm still young, definitely continue the push to try and get into the NRL. But
yep.
I think just take it step by step. I think at this point, try crack that cup system, and everyone I talk to says if you become a consistent cup player, that's when the NRL clubs will start looking.
Yep.
But ideally, obviously, play the highest level I can achieve. So that NRL is definitely the end goal. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, and as long as I go out trying. So
that's the way, bro. You're only 21, eh? Like, you do have your freaks like Cobbo and that.
Yeah.
But even like Cobbo, like his story's pretty gnarly, eh? Not making any sides until kind of. Well, I guess when he was playing fullback for you boys, that's kind of when he would have just been making it out, eh?
Yeah, I think that year was his first year with Bronx.
Yep.
And he was kind of just on like a young fella deal kind of thing, train every now and then, like probably get paid like $1,000 a year, like nothing. But he definitely has excelled. Like he's a prime example. He took his opportunity and
ran with it.
He ran with it. Like now that he's playing State of Origin. So.
Yeah, it's a freak.
Yeah, it was even a few boys you'd have been playing against, like Walshy. You even got big Jack Howarth now. He's with Melbourne still.
Yeah.
You would have been playing. What school did he go to? Was he?
He was at Emmaus up in Rocky.
Oh, and then he
moved
BCC,
down to BBC.
Yep.
Pretty early in his high school life, I'm pretty sure.
He went same time as Connor, right? Didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
him and Connor went to school down there, and it must be a good system down there because Jack got pretty big. He's a big unit.
Yeah.
But it's pretty crazy now. Like, even talking with my brother the other day, watching State of Origin, and you look at it and
they're all our age.
Yeah, like
it's fucking
they're
scary.
all our age playing State of Origin.
Yeah.
I remember like watching State of Origin thinking, oh, these fellas are so old.
Yep.
But now like we are the old ones.
Fuck. I remember because I had to work night shift on the last Origin, and they've like called out Jeremiah Nanai, 20 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy fuck, like 20. That's younger than me, and look at me, I'm just like a bloke sitting here watching the game at work. It's just crazy to think.
He's a solid bloke though, eh? He's Cairns boy too, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even that, did you watch that under-19 State of Origin?
Yeah.
So the captain of the 19s New South Wales team.
Was it the centre?
No, he was the front rower, that Samuela Fainu.
Oh, yeah. He got in a fight at the start, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like obviously 19, and he's played like a handful of NRL games. Like he's played 6 or 7 NRL games.
True.
And like he's a big unit, but
He's massive.
massive fella. But
Yep.
it's pretty crazy. Like they're all debuting so young, but some, like you said, some people are just gifted with that size and
Some
ability
people,
from young age, and some have to work a bit
and
more to get it. But
with the sport like rugby league, it does come down to injuries. Like it has a massive toll on like if you sustain injuries young.
And all of my injuries have kind of come at inconvenient times.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm not saying that if I wasn't injured, I would be there, but, you know, I think I'd definitely have more of an opportunity if I didn't get injured all the time. But, you know, I've had a pretty good year this year other than that minor hamstring at the start of the year. And, you know, it's building into a pretty good season. We started off pretty slow, Capras, but we, in the 21s that is, and we've racked up 3 wins in a row now. So got a couple more to go and hopefully make the finals and go from there. So
100. Yeah, bro. I wish you the best of luck, eh? Respect the dream.
Yeah.
You know, there's not many, like I said, you're like the only Gladdy boy even at that Capras game, and there's not many, you know, you do have those Gladdy boys that have shot, like you got Sammy Smith and like Stolke and that. Oh, he gets his emerald, but Gladdy now. But there's only been the few small numbers that pop up here and there, bro. And the next one coming through, I guess. So
yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, best of luck and thank you for coming on.
No, cheers. Thanks for having me.
All right, just listening.
Thank you.